Commissioner meeting for May 21st, 2025 to order. We stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you want to open with prayer?
I did last week. Go ahead.
Okay. We pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for another beautiful spring day. We thank you for health and strength and ask for blessing on all those who are suffering with health issues and the loss of loved ones too. Grant peace to all. Ask a blessing on this in this meeting and just thank you for everything. In your son's name, amen.
Message you doing the same thing.
Let's start bringing food.
I know. It's like I skip breakfast, so
Coffee and donuts.
that's right. Any public comments? See any report on matters within the commission's jurisdiction outside of the regular meeting? You guys have anything? Okay, contracts and agreements. We have another health department, Department of Health and Human Services immunization grant contract renewal. And it's for 7/1/25 to 6/30/26. It's the immunization program. It's for $5,161. Doesn't make, yeah, it does. Okay, so 5,161. And it's for 1 year for immunizations. Is there a motion to accept that
Make
contract?
a motion to accept that contract for 5161 for the health department for immunization.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have a new contract for the auditor auditing for the county annually. And we have been with Denning Downing Associates forever. Bob Denning is retiring. And so we have a new contract and it is with Nexus, Nexus CPA Group. And, it will start this coming fiscal year.
7/1.
Yeah, July 1, 25. And it's for documentation, working papers, client provided files, everything from Denning Downing transferred to Nexus. And 9 pages more of contract.
What's the punchline? How much?
So their fees are. We are able, based on whether we have to have a federal audit or not. So
Will we this year?
without the federal audit, it's $33,190. And it's a 3-year contract and ends, not ends, but the 3rd year of the contract goes to $35,200. And the annual auditing fee is $8,000 for a federal audit if we need that, which we will this year. And that just goes up by $200 a time each year if we need to have them in the future.
So this Nexus, if I understand it right, it's the same firm, just different name due to the changing of Bob, they're retiring and getting out.
He's selling the business
Selling it
to John, the CPA that's been there for 11 years working on our stuff. Should be.
Good quality.
Yeah, it's all, no staff is leaving.
Pretty happy with what they've done in the past. So I'll make a motion to accept the contract with Nexus CPA firm.
Second.
On favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Then the never-ending city stormwater, Conrad City Stormwater flood prone area. We don't have a floodplain, so we don't have a floodplain or flood zone manager at the moment, as DES is still vacant position there, which is the flood zone managers also. So anyway, we sent it to the DNRC for approval. And the regional engineers have reviewed and they came with their last finding and of the additional things we sent them. And they've satisfied everything. The engineering firm of Triple Tree has addressed everything DNRC has, so there's no further technical requirements. So is there a motion to approve the floodplain involvement for the county that's in the city of Conrad?
So moved.
What is this? I'm so confused.
It is, it's very confusing and I made it worse. So, being as the Pondere Creek where it's gonna be the stormwater for the east side of Conrad is gonna go into the Pondere Creek,
The discharge.
for when it rains again someday.
Is it basically the DNRC has approved Triple Tree's plan to
Correct.
move forward?
Yep.
Because it's going into a waterway. So DNRC got involved.
Because they're doing work on it?
That and that's gonna affect that waterway, so they wanted to make sure whatever they were building structurally in there was satisfactory to the DNRC.
What are
rip-
they-
The discharge,
Oh,
that's where the
okay.
water's gonna be channeled.
There's two discharge
Okay.
outlets and, the one goes right into Padre Creek. And so that's in the county and not in the city
Gotcha.
limits. So we have to, so our hope and intention is that we will apply for this permit with the city. So it'll be a combined thing, but that's up to the city, but our end is approved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, then we have the go-ahead from the Montana Aeronautics for the grass runway rehab contract. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it will be with Stokes Contracting. And it is for $14,000. This is just for the grass runway that crosses perpendicular to the paved runway.
He basically told me he's gonna knock a bunch of grass out. Hopefully there's enough material left there and just reseed it to approved runway grass.
Is there a motion to approve the contract for?
So moved.
Second.
And this will be county funds. This is not.
No,
No, this is the
grant.
Montana Aeronautics
It is,
grant.
okay.
Grant.
Is there paperwork on that? Just there.
The whole thing is a grant,
Eventually, yeah.
no match?
Yeah, no match, it's all.
Okay.
It's a combined grant with
Fuel.
fuel sensor or
We got a 30.
Card reader.
20,000 goes to fuel.
Just
Card
ridiculous.
reader.
A box this big.
Yeah.
Doing a mile-long runway for 14,000. Make it work, I don't know.
Okay, then we have under the Montana Department of Transportation bridge repair, the 5 bridges that we were slated to repair or replace or do something with. Mostly, they're not replaced, they're quick fix bridge repairs, and so
We
we
did
have,
replace the one with the culvert.
true. And, so we have breakout cost for Dry Fork Road Bridge for $6,374.20,
6,000, how much?
$374.20.
Oh,
Then we have East Lake Road, Quick Fix Bridge, detour cost is $9,911.13. The bridge tear down for that same bridge is $3,107.68. That's the bridge tear down and disposal. Then the bridge repair cost, I could have just given you the total. Are $16,027.88 for a total of $29,046.69 for East Lake Road. For Trunk Butte Road, which consists of 4 new girders, the excavator hours, the generator hours, the labor hours, is $7,068.66. The Midway Road East project is, the total repair is $4,011.58. 2 new girders, excavator, trucks, labor. And the Swanson Road Bridge replacement, tear down and removal, and then replace the culverts. The total of that is $25,312.34.
So is this, I'm sorry, is this a new contract to do these, or is this for us to put in for repayment on that?
Correct, this is
Grant?
reimbursement for what it's gonna cost.
Reimbursement.
So the engineers looked at it, approved it, and the Swanson Bridge is done already. The others are almost. Anyway, so that will hopefully get a start on our bridges. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Second,
second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
So all of those added up is what we currently will be getting. on that
Correct.
grant.
Correct.
Does that have the breakdown on hours?
Yes.
That, okay,
Yeah,
I'll get that.
everything is
Yeah.
itemized,
Okay,
so
okay.
I just didn't want to bore you all to tears with
Perfect,
all of
thank you.
that. Next up, we need to have our compensation board meeting to look at wages for the upcoming year for elected officials. And we need to set that for our clerk and recorder for June 12th at 1 PM in the commissioner's office. Does that fit everyone's schedule?
Yes,
What day of the week is that? A Thursday?
Thursday.
That should be.
Okay, motion to approve,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Purchase approvals. It's the contract with Sweetgrass Development, basically our annual dues. And, it appears that the dues were $2,000 and now they're asking for $3,000,
3,000
for this year.
for the current year, but didn't they also invoice for the prior year because they
Correct.
did not get an invoice for that?
So a total of 5,000, but
Yeah.
3,000 this year, an increase of $1,000 over
Two
last year.
thousand for last year's.
Yeah.
Fiscal year.
What are you guys' thoughts?
I'm really not in favor of it, I guess. I don't know if we're getting our money back out of that deal, to be honest. But. Especially with
So,
the rate increase.
That grant for, was it 10,000 they give us for the
Growth.
We had the total cost, it was a lot more than that, but they covered our portion of it.
The county's portion.
Well,
Well, part
Part.
because if I remember right, it was 40,000 for the city's portion and the county's portion, so then we split that. And then Sweetgrass got us a grant for 10,000.
Well, I don't know why we'd pay back one, when we weren't billed, were we not billed for it?
No, we were not.
We just dropped it?
We were not billed.
Oh, okay, so
We were not billed for fiscal year 24 until this
Right.
week.
I normally try not to do business that way and expect to get paid for it, but I don't know. And then the $1,000 increase would just,
Yeah,
You went to the board
I don't
meeting?
know why they went with just the $1,000, cause she was asking 4,000 a year from everybody. That meeting, but
And that was last fall, correct?
yeah. Well over a year ago. Some. Years ago. I don't know, it was a long time ago. It was just shortly after that her mother got sick. Went on hold.
well, I guess I would say at least not pay the past one if they didn't get us billed in timely fashion. And I don't know. What's the justification for the increase, I guess, but. So I would,
Just the cost of everything going on. Oh, and I guess they did do some work on the Roy Davis thing, although it's stretching out for a while. We did get,
that'll still be going on when all of us are out of here.
hold on.
Anyway.
So,
Well, maybe a compromise, what do you got?
no, I was just gonna ask for a motion.
I don't know, why don't we pay this year's at old current rate, 2,000? Then she can come in and explain why the rate increased.
Is there a second? For further discussion?
Don't wanna get Tom in trouble.
Well, yeah, no, I don't care about that. Yeah, I'm sure that she's got all sorts of excuses as to why it would be. But I could find that we can have a meeting with her and discuss why. So I will second that.
So the motion is to pay $3,000,
2,000 at
2,000 for the.
past, no, we forget last year's,
Okay.
I'm against paying that.
That's fine. Okay.
And then
So this is
for
for,
this year, the
2025.
fiscal year is about over. We would just pay the old rate of 2,000 until we're convinced that the increase is. I don't know, just like to hear what thought is behind that.
Do you want to include in that motion where you want that money to be paid from?
Does it come out of our Blue Sky
Blue Sky
Village?
Village, where it always came on in the past, right?
Yeah, let's do that. Blue Sky Tilt money would be great. Thank you, bringing that up.
okay, there's a motion, and you did second that, Tom?
Yes, I do.
A motion to pay $2,000, the old rate for this current year, then have a meeting with, ask for a meeting with Sweetgrass to explain why they need another grant. And it'll come from the PILT money from Blue Sky. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. That is all I have. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.